Law enforcement officials have been hard at work, as they always are over the festive season. Hundreds of suspects have been arrested in Gauteng already. For more now, I'm joined in the studio by the province's police spokesperson, Mathapelo Peters. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Of course, we need to start top of mind for so many people, especially those who know places like Melville in Johannesburg very well, since we ushered in the new year. That shooting in Melville, outside that popular restaurant on a very popular strip. What is the latest on that investigation that you can share with us?
Good morning again, Marcel, and good morning to the viewers. What I can confirm at this stage is that our investigators have been working around the clock since this tragic incident. So at this stage, we haven't made any arrests yet, but we have been collecting evidence as well as speaking to witnesses and bystanders, although we are still appealing to anybody that has seen or has any kind of information to come forward, because we do find that in such instances any little piece of information assists. So we are hopeful, we are optimistic that our investigators will be able to make arrests soon.
Have you found that people are aware that the best thing to do when they found themselves caught up in a horrific crime like that, that they need to make their way to a police station at some time to give a statement?
Well, yeah, we did. We were fortunate that our police were able to come to the scene in a very short space of time after the incident. So we did manage to speak to some people, although some were shocked, naturally. But yes, it is important that they contact the police to come forward and give information.
Some would say the nature of an incident like that is random, as it were, as to the shooting then that took place, I think, almost around the same time at Mary Fitzgerald Square, a shooter driving past this restaurant, shooting just into a crowded place, and then the one off the bridge shooting into where people were celebrating the New Year. Does that make the work of your investigators more difficult?
It does, especially the one of Mary Fitzgerald Square, where nobody really knows what happened. So when you do have to investigate the circumstances, it's a bit of a challenge. But this one at Melville is a bit different in a sense that there were a number of bystanders and witnesses, so piecing together bits of information is not as challenging as this other one. But every investigation is treated as difficult, because you have to also make sure that once you do arrest, that there's enough evidence that the person that gets arrested is responsible for the crime.
Now, tragically, 2 women lost their lives in that incident in Melville. Have their identities been released as yet?
Yeah, we know that identities haven't been released publicly, but I can confirm that their next of kin did identify them, so I'm not at liberty to disclose that on a public platform.
Okay, let's move on now to the importance of your work over the festive season. Hundreds of people have already been arrested in the province over the festive season. What has been the nature of most of those arrests?
Well, the crime patterns differ when the festive season comes, because we launched in November, the festive season campaign, although the activities really just start in mid-December. So especially, let me go to around the 15th. That's when a lot of industries are closing down. That's when a lot of people get bonuses. So there's a lot of cash involved and in circulation. So we do find that there's a lot of robberies that happen. We had incidents at malls. We've had incidents also where people were followed from banks, and the typical Stockfell kind of cash crimes, where people have gone to banks and withdrew large sums of amount, and then they've been followed home and robbed of that money, sometimes violently. So, and then also when you come closer to Christmas time, then it's your road fatalities, road crashes, because of people continuing to drive while under the influence of alcohol. So the crime patterns differ over the festive season, and that is why even in our approach as well to crime fighting, we phase it in, and the deployments also differ. Deployment is based on the nature of the crime that we expect to take place during that time.
Now, it's often said that places like Johannesburg become a bit of a ghost town over the festive season, because people make their way to the coast, or they make their way to other holiday destinations. How does that change how your resources are deployed at this time of year?
Well, it doesn't really change, because there are people, and it is our priority to make sure that those that have stayed behind in Johannesburg are safe. We also do find that there are a number of visitors who come to visit their friends and loved ones in Johannesburg. So Our deployment is not really based on who is around, but it's really based on the crime patterns that are prevalent over the festive season.
Okay, let's leave it there. Thank you so much for that update. Gauteng police spokesperson Mathapelo Peters live for us here in the studio. Thank you so much.